Well, speaking of throwbacks to the 70s, hey, I actually managed to make up a transition there. Pretty good for live. Our classic movie of the night is Dazed and Confused.
All right.
Man, like that series cemented the man's reputation forever.
Yes, it did.
Or at least his persona forever.
Oh, yeah. So Dazed and Confused is the 90s slice of life comedy set in 1976 from a writer-director Richard Linklater, who also did movies like Boyhood. He also wrote and directed the Glenn Powell movie that DB and I reviewed, Hitman, which was not terribly good.
I guess what I'll say is that it was shot and looked like a TV movie, probably because he had a TV movie budget.
Yeah, more than likely. Although I will say the one thing I did like about that movie was the montage of Glenn Powell doing all the Hitman personas. I like that part of it.
Well, that's because that's the part that was kind of based on the real story and not them just making up a romance for the sake of making it a quick sidebar. I keep finding that with Netflix based on true story movies. Just sit down Fat Electrician or somebody in his style and have him make an hour-long documentary.
Yeah.
It's going to be much more interesting than you actually trying to dramatize it.
Yeah, exactly. But this movie, it's got a very large cast. Who at the time a lot of them were unknowns, but then they became known once this movie came out, like Matthew McConaughey. You also had Ben Affleck, and we were kind of speculating that maybe Richard Linklater and Kevin Smith were friends, since Ben Affleck is in this movie, and also Joey Lauren Adams is in this. For those of you who don't know who she is, she was Amy in Chasing Amy.
Yeah, if they weren't friends when this movie was in production, I would be startled if they didn't. They seem to travel in the same circles and have a very similar sort of artistic oeuvre.
Yeah, exactly. But the movie
actually just to cast a little bit of shade here.
Yeah.
If you told me this was a Kevin Smith movie, I'd go, man, this is better directed than he usually does.
Ooh.
Look, I mean, the man got his start basically making a black and white movie in 1993 because it was cheaper to edit, and he could integrate footage from the security cameras at the convenience store where they shot Clerks. So
yeah, and he still managed to max out, I think, like 3 credit cards making the movie.
But, yeah, I mean, this was back in the days where I recall that I think it was not George Romero. Who's the guy who disgraced himself with the recent Star Wars stuff?
Lucas.
Lucas. The actual serious director. Not that Lucas isn't a serious director, but I can't think of his name. But it's like the guy who did like the zombie movies who ended up doing a few episodes of The Mandalorian.
Rodriguez.
Robert Rodriguez. Film editing was so expensive back in the day that was like Rodriguez's big expense when he was making his own movie for the first time.
Oh yeah. Oh man. But
I guess we should get back to this movie.
But yeah, let's go back to this movie. Yeah. So it's also on the cast. So like on the poster, for instance, it's weird. You got Milla Jovovich on the poster here. I think she has like one line in the whole movie.
Like she's only around like the first part, right?
Yeah, and she pops in a few scenes here and there. She's like the boyfriend or like the girlfriend of the dope dealer. And then you got the guy in the corner next to her. His name's Rory Cochrane. He's been in other Linklater movies. And then the main guy in the movie, the actor's name is Jason London, who I think he had a lot of substance issues in his career, so he didn't really. And I don't know. I can't remember the guy in the top right. I can't really see him very well. But actually, I think he was one of the football players with the. Yeah. So Jason London's character, Randall Pink Floyd. He's the quarterback of the high school football team, and then the other guy here is also on the football team. But yeah, the movie takes place. It's 1976 in Austin, Texas, and they filmed it in Austin. Like if you. For those of you who don't know, I lived in Austin, Texas for 17 years. This movie's like required viewing if you're going to live in that city. Like, because like everybody mentions it, like, and like the filming locations where, they were filming that, like, they're like, there's memorabilia from the movie, in these places, like, Top Notch, for instance. Like I used to eat at Top Notch all the time. It's their burgers were really good. They had a charcoal grill inside, and that's where they cooked it on. So the burgers had that charcoal smell and taste to them. And the fries were not soggy. I don't know why they said the fries were soggy.
Well, this movie also had people claiming that George Washington came home every day and Martha brought him a bowl of weed.
Yeah.
And that was the primary cash-making crop. Which is like I think there's a hint of truth in that, since they did grow hemp for rope making purposes.
Yeah, but they weren't growing it to smoke it. But yeah, and also too where the billiard hall, the pool hall was, that whole shopping area. There's right there on the corner, like, so that when they're pulling in, when McConaughey's pulling in with his car, and he does the all right. Right there on the corner, I can't remember what the restaurant was called in the movie, but in real life, that's a barbecue restaurant called Style Switch, and I used to eat there quite often too. It's one of those like real popular Austin barbecue restaurants. But enough of me talking about Austin landmarks.
I mean, you're kind of giving us a good preparation for what watching the movie is like, because it doesn't really have like it isn't like there's a deep story to it. It's like one night in Austin.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the last day of school before summer break, and it's basically two different groups of kids. You got the group of kids who are going into their senior year, and then the other kids who are starting their freshman year. Mm-hmm. And one of the hooks or the parts of the plot is that during the summer, the seniors are hazing the freshmen. And the boys haze the boys by paddling them.
With rugby paddles, yeah.
Rugby paddles, yeah.
Not rugby. Excuse me. Cricket bat looking things.
Cricket, yeah. Rugby's, yeah. And the girls are basically like, they're just like have a bunch of stuff dumped on them, and like mustard, and
oatmeal,
and yeah. And then it all kind of like culminates with this party that they have out in the greens, out in this park. Basically I would say like kind of like the big like conflict in the movie, it was with Jason London's character, Randall Pink Floyd, who's, like I said, he's the quarterback of the football team, and they're putting a lot of pressure on the football players, because they're like, they want to have a really great year, and they're for their senior year, maybe like state championship kind of thing. And they make them all sign this pledge that they're not going to drink or smoke or do any drugs or anything like that. And Pink Floyd's just like, nah, I don't know. I'm not gonna do that, because he's really not sure about his future. He doesn't know if he wants to play football or smoke pot. Basically.
Pretty much. It's like a series of coming of age stories, like mixed with a more slice of life than your typical cute girls doing cute things anime.
Yeah, yeah,
Just a bunch of I would say like there's like a couple of through lines, but it's mostly like vignettes and character
yeah,
studies.
yeah. Like you know, another example, like Ben Affleck's character, who's like, you know, he's his second year as a senior in high school.
Yeah. So you got to hate people twice.
um, and you had like the intellectual kids, like the one guy who what was the actor's name? Adam Goldberg, who I remember him from Saving Private Ryan. He wants to be an ACLU lawyer. Like what?
Yeah, that's a random thing to decide to be in high school.
Yeah. And his buddy was played by Anthony Rapp, who most recently he was on Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, we won't hold that against him too badly.
Yeah, but he was one of the original cast members of Rent. He was in there with what's her name from Wicked.
Idina Menzel, or
Yeah, Idina Menzel, yeah, and the one the guy who played Joe West on the Flash, the CW Flash, was in that. He was part of that cast too.
Okay. I will say this is a pretty stacked cast in retrospect, but not at the time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But it also too, real quick, I want to kind of mention like with Matthew McConaughey, how he got in the movie. So he was telling the story. I think he was given commencement. It was commencement address. I can't remember what the school was, but he was telling the story when he was in the movie. He was actually only supposed to be in like a couple of scenes, but he kept showing up to the set, and he was actually like one of the few actors or people who kept like consistently showing up to the movie to work. And so Linklater just kept writing more scenes for him. And
that explains, which is kind of perfect for his old pervert character who likes to chase high school girls, because him like just randomly showing up unwanted and without like an obvious place for it is so the point of his character.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I love high school girls. I keep getting older, but they stay the
same age.
Which, incidentally, the man's a monster when you get down to it.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. What gets me is when the nerdy kids, you know, they're sitting there at the drive-in at Top Notch, and he pulls in and he starts hitting on the girl.
Yeah.
They're like we were 3 years old when he graduated from high school. Ugh.
The other thing I'll say about this movie is, so I made the little slide at Kevin Smith earlier. I have affection for Kevin Smith, more so than many people in our circles, I think. But like, there's nothing that's shot quite as dynamically and interestingly as the scene where the poor soon-to-be high school student gets mercilessly paddled to the tune of "No More Mr. Nice Guy."
Oh yeah, yeah.
So amazingly shot that Family Guy just ripped the scene off wholesale for a bit with Chris Griffin.
Yeah. Yeah, even in one of them, I think the guy even looked like Ben Affleck, didn't he? In the Family Guy movie.
It's been a while since I saw that clip, but as soon as I watched this, a core memory unlocked of a Family Guy bit I'd seen.
Yeah. I had the same reaction too. Yeah.
The movie that we've watched, this is the most like, is American Graffiti, but it's like American Graffiti with, if it had been done by Kevin Smith, is my analogy for things coming in, because it's very raunchy, it's very depraved, but in like sort of a light, off-kilter way. Like nothing, you shouldn't take anything too seriously in it, because it is just basically a bunch of kids messing around at the end of the year.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, it's yeah. If you're into like slice of life, comedies like this, but and if you're interested in seeing what my old hometown looks like, give this movie a
Yeah.
watch.
Dude, the other scene that really like stuck out to me. It's been a bit since I watched it, so let's see if I mentioned.
Yeah, we
Oh,
watched this last week. Yeah,
yeah. So where I suddenly had to cancel last minute. So my apologies there.
that's all right.
But the scene I really like, I think encapsulates the sensibilities of this movie. So the kids stuck into or at least one kid is snuck into a liquor store.
Oh, yeah.
And they have this deliberate camera pan. And you have the guy at the counter talking to a customer. Now listen, you got to eat something green every day and get plenty of sleep. And the camera pans down, and first you see that this woman is, maybe it was a pan up. I think it was a pan up.
Yeah.
Actually, do you see that she's smoking first, or do you see that she's pregnant first? I can't recall which.
I think you see that she's pregnant, yeah, and then then you see her smoking, yeah.
It's like as he's giving her this lecture, eat something green every day and get lots of vitamins or lots of folate or whatever it was. Hey, but all right, you got that, Claire? Cool, yeah, great. I'll see you tomorrow. And she walks away with a 6-pack.
Yeah,
that is the slightly demented sense of humor of this movie. It's just so perfectly done. It's just like it loves juxtaposition jokes, is the way I would put it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, like well, yeah, and another scene where, like, at the beginning of the movie, where one of the kids is in the shop class and he's making the cricket bat. He's got the goggles sitting on top of his forehead as he's like sawing it, and then you see a sign in the back that says, "Wear your goggles at all times."
It's
yeah.
It's the movie it most resembles that we've done is American Graffiti. Like I said, I think I said, and it's interesting that this one had about as much distance between when it was made and when it was set as American Graffiti did from its place of origin, and they're both semi-biographical stories of the director, which tells me that where George, I believe, George was a hot rodder who I only got into filmmaking because he hurt himself, as memory serves.
Yeah.
Maybe it makes me wonder what this director was up to.
Oh well, I'm sure he was doing some stuff. Yeah, I mean, he was
no good. That's what he was probably
up to no good. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, this movie is on Netflix until Monday, I think.
Okay, so since we're going to have quite a few reviews back to back, maybe we note to future Daniel, maybe we should release this one first.
Yeah, we probably, and that would be a good idea. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've said all we need to say for tonight.
Agreed.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it as always.